the way they conduct their interviews.
Oh, I'm gonna save it. Save for the show. Save it for the show.
Well, since you talk about saving it for the show, what is going on, people? It is Saturday night, and next podcast is live, guys. We have a fire show for you tonight. Huge shout out to everybody checking in early, checking in on time for the show every Saturday, 7 p.m. Huge shout out to my brother Sleepy Goblin, who was the first in the chat. That's right, people. Sleepy Goblin was first. We got a lot of topics to go through. I will let you know K Mega is not here right now. Unfortunately, he had to update all of his drivers to the emulators that it's on his PC. And if he doesn't do that, he really can't play any games. So, once he gets done doing that, he'll be on the show. But we do have a couple all-star gamers, which I will introduce right now. Let's start with the man who is an all-star starting five on this show every Saturday, my brother, Predator!
Yo, what's up, everybody? Glad to be on this weekend. Been a busy week gaming. I got some fire gameplay for you, and vote for Pred.
Nice, man. Short and sweet. Yeah, dude. I actually I got to see some of the gameplay. I think I like how you put two games. There are two games there that people have been talking about and kind of crossing in terms of what people are talking about with games. And you put both the games out there. I like that. It's like kind of showing people that you play both of those.
That's right.
Yeah, I like that. Yo, Pred, what do you think about the new whole kind of like game winner kind of like look over here? You like what's going on right now?
No, because my name's not up there. Because y'all didn't vote for fucking Pred last week. Oh, I wasn't in it last week.
No, you weren't. No, you see,
should have been. I was busy.
And there's some people out there on Twitter that feel like they should have write-ins, like the Don and stuff like that. Guys, write-ins are absolutely illegal when it comes to voting for gameplay. All right, I just want to let you guys know that right now. But yeah, shout out to O Snaps. O Snaps won last week, killing a bunch of animals in Far Cry. It seems to be the gameplay that people wanted, and so you're getting it again today. But check this out. Next on the list, making his triumphant return, one of the most opinionated and entertaining gaming YouTubers I have seen, Knoxximus!
Yo, what's good, everybody? What's really good? Just here chilling, about to get these topics on and popping. Let's do it, bro.
Nice, brother. Well, we were on Crossfire last night, and it got a little crazy, so I can imagine what's going to happen, especially when K Mega get in here as well. Like, this is going to be something.
It's going to be a good time.
All right, guys.
It's gonna be a good time.
Let's get right into it. Inside Xbox was shown this past week, and when I watched the show, I thought there was a lot of good things to come out of it. We have a new controller, which I know you guys would be excited about. We have Minecraft is coming to Game Pass in April, and every time they do one of those content updates or whatnot, not like the premium ones like that texture pack that we've been waiting for to improve the graphics, but all like the other kind of like content updates when they come out will go into the game on Game Pass as well as, for the people who bought the game. Let's see, what else did they talk about? Oh yeah, Halo Master Chief Collection is going to PC, and not only that, but Halo Reach is coming as well, as long as you got a couple extra dollars. So, I don't know. Yo, we're talking behind the scenes. Predator said he didn't watch the show. Knox said he didn't watch the show. I'm going to start with Predator real quick. Pred, you heard some of the announcements, and people aren't even talking about the whole Minecraft thing, man. What do you think? Do you think you missed out on a good show? Like, why didn't you tune in to Inside Xbox?
Was there something other than Minecraft and Halo Master Chief Collection that I needed to know about?
The new controller?
No.
New controller?
That's not
they showed Division 2 as well?
I was already playing Division 2 by that time.
So. Oh my goodness. All right. Dude, why didn't you tune in though, man?
A, probably because I was at work. B, if I wasn't at work, I was playing the Division. And C, I just didn't care to watch it. I'm glad they shortened it. I mean, I heard it was like about an hour long.
Yeah.
But I heard it was still garbage. But again, I can't say
that shit is an
I,
hour too long. If it was an hour, then it was an hour too long.
And I remember posting this in chat in our private chat on Twitter. It was like, they didn't talk about Hunt Showdown, which is coming to the game game preview here pretty soon. So I mean that's an obvious state. It's always with me. It's always on that show what they don't talk about. Then I'm like, why didn't you talk about this? Like, why didn't you talk about certain things that are coming out? Like we already know we're gonna get the exclusives. Like you're gonna get Sea of Thieves information. You're gonna get Minecraft. You're gonna get but like they have bigger news that they can talk about, and they always hold their cards close to them. Like I think talking about Hunt Showdown, which could be, I don't think it's on a level.
I think that's going to be on
hype.
I think that's going to be on the next Inside Xbox though, because
but the teaser came out, and they could have just showed the teaser trailer right there, and then been done with it. Like, but I mean, I don't work for them, but if I did, that's something I would have shown on there and just kind of just mention it, and but I didn't watch the show because the last several. I mean, what is this show? Maybe 7 ish.
I don't keep counting.
Maybe more. Yeah, I'm not counting, but like I think this is maybe they didn't. Let's say round it up. We'll say they've done 10 shows. I've really only liked like maybe 2, and it's just like they're either long and drawn out, or they're not giving me any information that I don't already know. Who didn't know Master Chief Collection was coming to Xbox at some point in time?
Well, it was coming to PC, you mean, right?
They're coming to PC. I'm sorry, yeah. Like at some point.
I mean, that's it got PC gamers like ecstatic though, bro.
I mean, good for them because they've never played it. If they just were strictly PC guys, they've never played it, and that's good for Microsoft to finally put it on their platform. But, let's see how it plays. I mean, like, there's issues there with the whole cross play if they're going to do that with PC and Xbox, or is it just going to be PC only? I'm asking that question because I don't know because I didn't watch the show. Or have they announced that yet?
They didn't say anything about the crossplay. So.
But for the PC only guys who've never played, I think the last Halo that was out was like on PC. You're the Halo guy. Tell me. But there's only been one on PC that I know of. And it did fairly well, and a lot of people.
Yeah, and it came out a long time after, like its console release.
Yeah, so for them to bring all of them out. The whole collection, and then I think they have Reach on there as well. I mean,
brother, not only do they have Reach, but they are putting it in 4K 60 frames per second on Reach as well, man.
Good. I mean, like, and that's great for the PC guys. However,
well, it's gonna be like that on the console too, though.
I've already played Halo on console like 1,000 times.
You don't want to go back and play Reach, though, bro?
Because I'm playing The Division.
Oh goodness. Oh.
I've already played it. You know how I am with old games, man. I don't go back to them that often, so it's not that serious. But I mean, hey, I'm glad they stuck with the Master Chief Collection and they're putting it out on PC. I mean, I'm not knocking them for it. It's a great business move for them. And as far as the show goes, I didn't watch it, and I can already tell you it sounded like it was hot garbage. So I'm glad I didn't waste my hour of my life.
See, and that's my whole thing when it comes to Inside Xbox, and we got to get Knox's opinion as well. But when it comes down to it, I feel like Inside Xbox has been overly criticized maybe the past 3 episodes or so. I understand about the rocky start, all right? And then I definitely understand about that whole State of Decay episode where they spent 45 minutes, people running through a makeshift, quote unquote zombie apocalypse. No. But I feel like they have really upped the tempo. I feel like they're having things that they have news centered around Xbox that I'm getting into. I think it's a decent show.
Was Larry there? Larry Herb there? I heard they're missing some people.
No.
Yeah, that right there tells you how they feel about the show right now. They're taking Larry off.
Well, they did this whole kind of because it's Women's History Month or something like that, and it was pretty much all women, unless they had to have a guy from the publishing team or something like that. But they had all the women. Yo, hold on, let me pay the bills. Yo, shout out to Logos Creek supporting the channel, my brother. I think it's BS that we have to pay for Reach and ODST. I have Reach for the 360, and they think I'm buying it again. They're wrong. It should be included. Huh, Vogel. Well, see, I have Game Pass, so me personally, it doesn't affect me too much. I'm not thinking about like, unsubscribing or letting my subscription run out anytime soon. And
Didn't people get one of those for free at one point in time? Was it ODST?
I thought ODST was free.
Yeah, it was free for one point in time.
Maybe it was like a limited time thing for.
I think they gave it away to people because they screwed up the Master Chief Collection launch so bad.
Oh, so like
I-
if you had
yes.
the game before a certain date.
Yeah,
All right. Maybe that was it, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yo, Knox, you said you didn't check it out either. I am putting you guys on blast right now to the gaming community. What the hell is going on? Why didn't you watch the show, man?
More than likely, what time did it even come on? Because I was probably at work. I'm not sure. Or asleep.
I caught the second run. There's something called YouTube. You can watch it whenever you want.
But that's. I mean, I didn't even. I'm not. I can care less about that show so much that I didn't even know it was coming on. I didn't even know there was an episode until you guys brought it up on Crossfire. So that just lets you know, bro, that I'm absolutely not interested in watching Inside Xbox because they've shown me more often than not that they're not gonna have anything interesting to say.
Well, dude,
and it's not entertaining. At least if you were entertaining me, putting stuff out there that we already know, or stuff that doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal, but entertain me. Say some jokes. I don't know, juggle some shit. Do something, man.
I will say there is a dry sense of humor going on with the show.
It's not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's nothing that's making me want to watch it, and the information isn't enough to make me begrudgingly go through.
Uh-oh. Hold on. He'll be back. They always come back.
What?
Okay. Yeah, it blacked out real quick. It did its usual hangout thing.
Yeah, the only cat that I even think is all right is the young brother, and
he wasn't even there because it was like the whole. It was definitely they started it out bringing out a whole bunch of women that are either developers under Microsoft first party or women that are in front of the camera when it comes to these types of shows and stuff like that. So
okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so I think that's the reason why you didn't see like Larry Herb there. You didn't see the other dude who I feel should take over Larry Herb's spot, and I forgot his name, unfortunately. I feel like he's younger, more energetic, and he's less I guess you could say corny. He's less corny when it comes down to it. He'll crack jokes that are actually funny and stuff like that. But I don't know, Knox. Even what I told you with the announcements, that doesn't sound like a good show to you, man.
I mean, Minecraft coming to Game Pass. Everybody got Minecraft, but I mean, I guess whatever. I guess the 5 people that don't own it now they can. Now that's 5 more Game Pass subscribers there, and that's a win-win for Microsoft. Good things. And as far as the Reach thing, and Master Chief Collection on PC, good for them. And I don't. Again, I'm playing on my console. I don't benefit from that. I already have the stupid ass game. I bought it when it was broken. And
you sound like you got some animosity there, man. Like there's some bad feelings going on.
Not at all. No, I'm just telling you. I'm just saying that's
what I got it when it came out. It was broken.
It was. Come on.
Ever since, like
it's true. Like I wanted to play that shit so badly, bro, and it was so fucked up that I just left it alone. I never went back, and that's crazy.
Yo, Daz, you do not talk about the epic Minecraft like that. I'm just saying, bro. Bro, you don't know the deal. Yo, go in and play the game with me, and I know you'll have a blast, man.
They need to, but long story short, they need to make the shit more entertaining and have more entertaining and have more relevant shit to say. Stuff that people wants to excite people about Microsoft and Xbox brand right now.
All right, well, Knox, I'm gonna flip it to what Vogel asked about as well, and I want to let people know out there when it comes to Halo Reach, if you have the Master Chief Collection when Halo Reach comes out, the multiplayer side of that will automatically download for you, and you can play the multiplayer maps, the multiplayer modes that came with Halo Reach. But when it comes to the story and Firefight, if you don't have Game Pass, that's going to be a separate price. Now, Knox, I hear people flipping out about this, like it should be free and stuff like that. And the first thing that comes to my mind is like, wow, people never heard about DLC you pay for, because like that is a thing. Like, what do you think about this whole thing with Reach?
But you can't consider the multiplayer DLC for that, right? Would you consider that?
Well, the multiplayer they're giving to people. They're giving it. If you have the Master Chief Collection, you will automatically get Halo Reach's multiplayer. But the story and the firefight mode, if you don't have Game Pass, you would have to purchase, man.
I mean, is it backwards compat? Is it part of the backwards compat program? Like, if I own it on the 360, can I pop it in there and download, whatever the new 1080p 60 feature?
I didn't hear anything about that. Like, I don't know. I think they kind of keep those things separate. I think it should have been free. I think they should have just dropped the whole thing. All right. Well, of course you're a gamer. You would want content, free.
I mean, it's old. It's old, and it would have just been a cool gesture, just like a free game. Come on, that's a game that could go in Xbox games with gold. Yeah. That could be a gold game. That shit is like what, 10 years old? When did Reach come out? 2008, I think. 2008, 2007. I'm not even sure.
It was.
Wait, how much are they charging for it?
I don't know. I haven't looked into the price. I'm not sure if they actually said the price as well.
I think they could have thrown their consumers a bone with that, bro, and hooked them up. That would have just been cool.
But no, it would have been cool. Do you think people are kind of like overreacting on it, like on Twitter and in the game?
I would say they would be overreacting, because really, who gives a crap about No, seriously, who gives a crap about Halo Reach? If they didn't even mention it, nobody would have been saying, damn, you know what I want to play right now on my X? Some freaking Halo Reach.
Oh, I said that though. I said that though.
When did you say that?
I've said it many times, but like, when you look at it, Halo.
You said, you know what I wish was on backwards compat? Halo Reach.
Dude.
I don't know. I think people just making a big deal out of it because it's something to talk about with fucking Microsoft to make a big deal about.
All right. Well, yo, Predator, what do you think about this whole thing with Halo Reach, man? Do you think it's an overreaction, or do you feel it's justified and like they damn sure better make it like free to everybody who got the Master Chief Collection? Which side are you on here, man?
I'm with Knox on this, man. This is a game that they could have put out a long time ago. It's not like it's a pretty new game that came out with like in the last year or two, even though they did up it up a little, the 4K 60, but and the fact that they gave it away, one of the two anyway, away for free a while back, they should have just let it out and just gave it to everybody, man. So it's like, I don't know which one it was, ODST or Reach that was already out is back in pat, but like, just make the shit free, man. Just put it in Game Pass, make a little money off of it in Game Pass, and be cool.
Yeah,
that game, like Master Chief Collection with all the series, all of them should be like a free game to everybody on Xbox at this point.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
For real. Like, I mean, like it's with the exception of 5, but I'm saying like every Halo game should be free. I mean, like just put it out there. Like, look, if you buy an Xbox, you get this game free, and whatever other game we give you for free, because they usually give you like buy an Xbox, get so like that game should always be in the library, always, for any hardcore gamer.
If you look at it, Pred, if you look at it for people who didn't buy the Master Chief Collection, if you have your Game Pass subscription, you'll have like the full Halo Reach. You'll have the full Master Chief Collection. So I think that's kind of what you're saying right there.
Let me look on my friends list right now and see who's playing Halo.
Oh no.
So, I mean,
bro.
I couldn't do it, man.
Wow.
Make this shit free, man. Just make it free.
Yeah, Brian Baker in the chat, he was like, well, Halo Reach is back compat. So yeah, it is. And
okay, thanks.
All right,
all right. So
you're not getting the 60 frames per second. You're not getting the 4K.
Why not? Why not? They gave that treatment with the back compat version of Red Dead Redemption. Why you can't give the same treatment with Halo Reach? Of course they can do that. They did it already.
Because that's going to take away their shine from announcing it for Master Chief Collection, man. I mean,
That's that money, man.
See, but that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what's
if that
corny.
shit shows up in the top 10 NPD, I'll be shocked.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think that's happening.
True.
But like I said, I think it made a lot of people in the Halo community very happy, and it's a good kind of like spacer there because I think we all believe that Halo Infinite is coming out in 2020. They're going to show it at E3 this year. So, even if it's an older game, it's older content, it's stuff that the Halo community has been asking for with the Master Chief Collection. So,
dude, they're gonna fuck around. They're gonna make Halo free to play.
Well,
they're gonna make a free to play version of Halo.
Mark
my words.
Yeah,
I'm serious. They're gonna make it a free to play version, like just a shooter, like the Warzone.
That might be slick.
It would honestly. I think it'd be a system seller, but we'll see what happens. You get to like this. Imagine if they like open it up where you can like just completely mod your armor and based off of the stuff you earn and Xbox. Tell me how you feel about that.
Well, you do know I like playing Destiny too, so you're like slamming two things that I love together. And then you're saying, hey, guess what? You don't have to pay money for it. It's free to play. I mean...
Yeah, just take out the story and put like a huge Halo universe and make it free.
Well, no. See, I want a story, man.
No, they can still make a Halo game. Don't let me take that away from you. But like, they can still make a Halo game, but just make a free-to-play version of Halo. Separately. And still continue with the Halo 6 or whatever the hell it's going to be next. And just make a free-to-play Halo.
With mad microtransactions.
Yeah, that's all they're going to do is just fucking just gouge the shit out of people.
Rec packs for everybody. Let's do it. Yeah. No, I can.
That's what they want to do. That's Microsoft's direction going forward.
But dude, the rec packs in Halo 5, that was the best way to put in microtransactions, in my opinion. For people who wanted to feel like they were buying something that in game could make them feel more powerful. You had the specific gameplay, the game mode for that. You know what I'm saying, with Warzone. But other than that, anything with competitive arena, it was just cosmetics. And dude, a lot of people got rec packs that way, and you can earn them in game. That was the best way, in my opinion. But guess what, guys? Let's move on past Halo real quick, and let's get to a game that you guys will actually talk positively about, because I know you can see from the gameplay right here. You can see exactly what's going on. Division 2 has dropped. Knox's gameplay is going, so let's go to him first. Brother, I know you have the game. I believe you have it for both the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. Man, you got to let us know your thoughts and opinions on the game, what you like about it, what you think they need to improve on, and since you have kind of like that unique, that unique view right there with having it on both systems, why don't you let us know if there are any differences with them, man?
All right. Well, as far as the differences go, I must admit, and this is the PS4 Pro footage that's here for the show that people are watching right now. So. Okay. Just be advised with that. And as you can see in this footage, I'm shooting pretty damn terribly because I cannot control. I just couldn't control the guns with my PlayStation controller. I can't do the PS4 controller, bro. Like,
you have to get the adapter to hook up the Xbox controller.
Yeah, I have to do that. But it is better on the X. I'm not even gonna front. It's beautiful on the Pro. Don't get me wrong. That shit looks amazing.
It's like a disclaimer.
That game is visually stunning no matter where you're gonna play it. But it looks sharper and clearer and brighter on the Pro. It controls 1,000,000 times better. It runs better. It's better on the X. I mean, that's right.
Okay. I didn't want to have to correct you on that because he's just being an X spot right there. But dude, how are you liking the game, man? I know you're a looter shooter guy. Like I met you with Destiny 2 and everything like that, man. So, what do you think?
The game is dope, bro. I'm really feeling it, man. I wanna play some more later on tonight. And it's hot, man. Like, I'm really enjoying it. I think that Ubisoft did tighten up a lot of the stuff that I had issues with, like, you know, the sponginess. The AI is pretty smart. You know, they'll move around, they'll try to flank you. They're not just gonna sit there. Some of them will sit there, of course. You got to have your fodder, right? You got to have the shit to shoot at. But you know, if, like, for the most part, like the yellow bars and the purple bars, they're gonna flank you, man. They're gonna run around, they're gonna try to kill you, bro. You can't just sit there. You know, you gotta play that gameplay, bro. You gotta push up, you know, boom, 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 take one out, then put. And I had to kind of learn that because I wasn't enjoying it, because I kind of just kept like sitting in cover, you know, and just sitting there and trying to just clear them off as many as I can. And that shit got boring and I wasn't feeling it. Once I started changing up the way that I played it and the way that I approached it, like as soon as they reload and you roll up on them and play a little aggressive, then you hang back and you get in cover, then that shit is dope. And playing it with a teammate, I haven't got to play with any of you guys yet, but I did play it with my wife and it was dope, bro.
I know I know Lady Knox tore that game up, right?
Yeah, she's feeling it too. She's enjoying it.
Nice, man. Well, Pred, I know you've been waiting for this game to come out as well. You know, and I've seen some of your gameplay. You might have a little bit of that game in here. But what do you think, man? General thoughts and opinions on Division 2?
Loving it.
You can't stop playing it.
Yeah, I've been playing it all fucking week, man. So first of all, some differences there, like, you know, like between 1 and 2, like your gear mods, they or not. What is it? You only get one gear mod, right? And I for the life of me, I could not figure out where to put this motherfucker. You put it on your damn backpack, and also like your weapons, like the like in the first division, like anytime you changed out a loadout of a weapon, you either had to strip it down. Like if you had a sniper rifle with a scope, that scope had to be used on each rifle. Whereas, you know, you had to remove it from one to put it on the other. This one, like once you unlock the scope or the whatever part of the component of your weapon that you have, it's good for all weapons within that category.
Oh, that's dope.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So you don't have to unlock like 30 fucking like silencers. You can just get one for those specific weapons and they work.
And the perks too. I forgot to mention that. Like the perks where you get a whole set, where you combine a little set, like you could.
Yeah.
Put like the same brand of your armor and your gloves and the knee pads, and then you get a bonus. You get a bunch of bonuses for that. That's pretty hot too.
Yeah, and then like you don't unlock everything at once. Like you can't like as you go through the game, you unlock like your calibration station. You unlock the what is it called? The mod station, whatever. You have to unlock each and every station by doing missions. It's not like the first division where it's just given to you. You have to actually do missions to get all this shit. So you have to build your character up a little bit in that aspect. But I mean, I've got like about I want to say over 40 hours in this already. And I'm loving it. Like, this is going to be a game I probably play most of the year until I just get bored of it. But I think, and I know we're getting this topic later, but I think they got it right with this one after the hiccups they had with the first one. I think they kind of listened to the fans a little bit and kind of, you know, if you played Division 1, you noticed that there was a lot of changes from the day it launched till their very last update. Like, a lot of changes. Even they were still updating this game as recently as like late last year. So you're going to be in for a treat. If you haven't played it yet, and if you just kind of got turned off from it, the first version of it, you're going to be in for a treat with this one, because this is like, it looks good, it plays very good, the shooting mechanics are on point, and this is definitely my type of game. So I love it.
Nice, man.
I'm definitely. I have to agree with Pred there. I just hope that they represent on this 8-man raid type of thing that's coming.
Oh
yeah, I cannot wait for that shit.
Yeah, that's got to be done dope. Once we see how that's done, then we talking.
Like an in-depth, like really kind of like there's a story behind it, multiple things to do. That's what you're hoping for with the raid, right?
Yeah, and I'm also and also that they're not as OD as they were in the Division 1, because like when you did the missions, they just threw a bunch of sponges, bullet sponges, a bunch of bullet sponges actually, and they made it very tedious to go through. At least
I will say this, dude. I've been trying to play this single player, like by myself. Some of the missions, especially the story missions, man, it's almost impossible to do by yourself. I mean, like I got to one mission. I know I tweeted this out. Or there's one mission where this guy is shooting a mortar at you, and they got the shotgun guys running at you, and you got this other guy out in the field, and he's just throwing grenade launchers at you. So it's and trying to do that by yourself. I could not. I mean, I spent an hour trying to do that fucking mission, and I finally said, "Fuck it." I had to squad up. So play with your friends, man. You trying to play this shit by yourself?
Yeah,
that's really.
That's where it's dope at.
Yo, Knox, and you were there last night. That's really interesting because my boy Boom and there was somebody else who was like, yeah, when it comes down to it, because I hated the fact that, my cousin, he no-life that game, right? So I get in, and this is Division 1. And this is what turned me off to the game. He no-life that game. He's like, yeah, I'll go in, I'll play with you and stuff like that. He was a higher level than me. He's like, yeah, no, just sit back, I'll take care of it all. And I'm like, dude, this is freaking boring. But Boom and I think a couple other people on the panel last night on Crossfire said that you can go through the game by yourself, the story part to it's not that big of a deal. But Pred's telling me, he's like, man, squad up, dude. It's what you got to do.
I'd rather play with a squad. It's just you have other people because the AI in this game is really on point. It's one of the first games where they actually come and flank you. They get you cornered. They go behind you.
Yeah,
they're not just sitting out in the open field waiting for you to pop them when they pop their heads up in the first division. They come around. And they come around on both sides of you.
Dude, I saw that in the demo, man.
And they bum rush you often too. They'll set you up. They'll send two of them to bum rush you while the other one flanks and just comes to it's crazy.
And then when you get in the further the deeper missions, all the gear that you have, they have. So they can shoot it all at you too. They get cover, they get concealment. They shoot the little sponge gun at you to lock you in place. When you get to those points in the game, trust me, you'll be like, fuck, I need help. Especially if you're new to the game. And I played the Division 1 relentlessly. There's parts in this game where I'm like, fuck, man. Even I got good gear and everything too. So it's just it's frustrating because the AI is really it's not like a spongy AI, it's just a smarter AI.
It's aggressive, right? It's aggressive, it's tactical as well. It's what it should be. I mean, if you think about it.
And them armor suit dudes will roll up on you. They don't back away. They're in them suits, but they're trying to come get you, kid.
Well, if they're in armor, what would you do if you were in a full armor suit? You would just walk forward, busting that big ass gun that you got. No problem.
The trick to beat them: shoot their armor off. Don't just sit there and try to shoot them in the head. They got armor on their shoulders and their fucking knees.
Yep. That shit is dope. I like the way they did that. Ubisoft did that thing with the Division 2. I have to give them their props.
All right, and when it comes down to it, me and O-Snaps, we got a lot of games starting from the beginning of the year, and right now it's just we can't. We're not. I got a vape convention I'm going to tomorrow and stuff like that. There's money to be spent in other places as well, and so unfortunately we weren't day one on Division 2, but we did get a game. We got a game called Anthem, and it's funny when it comes down to it. Division releases, of course, with the kind of gold edition, you get early access. So for the last couple of days, man, I just been hearing people kind of compare the two games and how Anthem doesn't hold a candle to the Division and this and that. And I'm looking at both games now. Granted, they're a looter shooter. All right, that's the type of games that they are. But to me, that's where the similarities end, because on one side you got a sci-fi futuristic fighting aliens and different beasts out in the wilderness and stuff like that, as well as your enemy factions or whatnot. And over here with the Division, you're not really dealing with that, but you're dealing with more strategic people who have taken over, a city, and you're kind of it's more real life and more strategy, where Anthem to me is more sci-fi, kind of otherworldly. And I'm I asked myself, is it really comparable, these two games, in all actuality? So, Pred, we started talking about this off air, so I'm gonna start the conversation with you, man. When it comes to these two games, Anthem and Division 2, I know they're looter shooters, but is it really right to compare both these games and really criticize them one against the other?
No. Short answer. Long answer.
Nice.
I can understand why people do because the fact they're looter shooters that came out. Anthem and the Division came out within a short time of each other. And the launch of Anthem wasn't very well. Like when it comes to like collecting gear and that kind of deal, like Anthem is getting shit on by the Division. And we were talking privately before the show started. I told you why. Like there's a learning curve here, right? Division is in its second version. Even Destiny is in its second version. It took both of those games a while to get it right the first time. And I still think that the Destiny still doesn't have it completely right. But it's because of who it's being made by, that company.
Activision is no longer in that pot. So
yeah, exactly. But it was in part 1 and 2. So I think that was a part of the issue. Whereas the Division, and I will say even just Ubisoft in general, they've mastered the ability to prolong games. Think of Rainbow Six. Think of a Ghost Recon. Think of how they've expanded those games out as long as they have. What was it? Rainbow Six came out how many years ago, and they're still supplying content to it.
Yeah, it was wild, man.
And even it's not even a looter shooter, but like it's just the game they've mastered the art of prolonging their games longer than they need to be relevant, and they've got it down packed. So even with the Division 1, they can, like I said before, they continue to give it content up till like late last year. And that's on the heels of Division 2 coming out. I mean, you were getting unlocks for Division 2 while you were doing stuff in Division 1. So like they've got it down packed. Whereas Anthem, it's their first time doing this. So like it's not their first time trying to extend the game out, but it's the first time of them that I know of them doing a looter shooter like this. So it's gonna go through its learning curves until they figure out what the good balance is. So yeah, it's fun now. The next Anthem, if they decide to stick with it and not abandon it, the next Anthem should be a lot better. Or I won't say the next Anthem. I would say as the game progresses, it should get better. They've already hinted that they have a lot of stuff in the pipe, and I know this is like they've got a lot of hype with this game. But if they continue to fuck it up, now people are just gonna they've already started to abandon it as it is. So like it's just gonna be dead in the water, and no one's gonna want to play part 2. But I know, I don't think you played the original Division. Destiny. But Destiny 1 had its learning curves as well, where it was almost like Anthem. I don't think it was nearly as bad as Anthem is right now, but Destiny had its issues in the beginning too. Even when they did their DLC, there was issues with it. Just the playability and the being able to prolong it.
There was still way more in Destiny though than
there was in Anthem, and I agree with you. But they had their learning curves, and when Destiny 2 launched, they seem to have gotten it right from the beginning after going through the learning curves with Destiny 1. The Division did it as well. And they prolonged that game out and kept it relevant for longer than it should have been. And I think Anthem's going to be okay as a franchise. I just think they need to kind of go back on the drawing board and supply content. And when we talked about this in the past, I always said it's not what they release, it's what they continue to release. It's going to make the game relevant. So we'll see what happens with it. But I mean, I can see where people are comparing the two, but it's apples and oranges, 2 different game styles. They can, as someone said in chat that I saw earlier, they can coexist. It's fine. But
now Brian Baker said you got to pick because we're not rich. You got to pick one or the other.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm done with Anthem. I won't pick it up for a while because I knew it was going to happen. That once the Division came out, I wouldn't touch Anthem. So I think a lot of people have that stance too.
I got you, man. And like the way I look at it, and I don't know because I don't have both games right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I do have Anthem. I think Knox, you know me as a gamer. I have a tendency to go more towards the sci-fi than like the real life kind of like environment. All right. So with that, I feel like I still made a good pick with picking Anthem when I was thinking about it's got to be one or the other. But Knox, what do you think, man? Is it fair to compare these two because they're looter shooters, or do you see?
I mean,
you see a difference, man.
You're gonna compare them just because. I mean, yeah, they are the same genre. You know what I'm saying? And it's 2 big boy players right here. with Ubisoft with the second offering of the Division and BioWare with their very highly anticipated game. So people gonna compare the two, right? And they came out around the same time, so it's gonna happen, And when people see the quality that Ubisoft came with, and they were expecting the same thing from Anthem, from BioWare, they didn't get that. They didn't get a finished game. We didn't get a finished product. They rushed it out, and whoever bought it had to know, they had to know this ahead of time. I knew it ahead of time.
You're buying a work in progress, basically.
Yeah, you had to know you're buying a work in progress, and you had to make that decision to choose to give them that 65 yuccas.
Yeah.
If you did, then you enjoyed it for what it's worth. And like Pred just said, now it's time to put it down. There ain't really nothing for me to do. I enjoyed it. I see the potential of what's there with Anthem, but it needs to hurry up and get here. Because there's nothing to do, and there's really no reason to chase the loot, because inscriptions are really what matter in Anthem right now. If anything, that's the role of the gun, and the guns are not even that relevant. They gotta fix those guns. They gotta have more and more pop to them, more kick. They gotta have like stats that to lower shields, because that's another thing. The shields take fucking forever to lower on an enemy in Anthem. You know what I mean? Or you got to use your ability to do it. And then it just makes it's cool. Don't get me wrong, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing it. I like what's there. I just wanted there to be more of that, and relevant loot, because it's a looter shooter. And if the loot is ass, then what the fuck?
Then what are you gonna play? Like, what are you gonna play like the end game and beyond for? You know what I'm saying? Because I know Destiny 2. That's one of the things that brought me back to that game, and I'm playing that game right now. Is like the exotics and the things that they're offering in like Gambit Prime and stuff like that.
For Thorn, I haven't even thrown Destiny 2 on.
Well, dude, you got Division, you got Division 2 now. I'm
I
not expecting to see you in Destiny anytime soon, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna be divisioning it up, kid. That's for sure. Anthem's going on the shelf. Destiny's on the shelf. That's it. It's gonna be the Division 2.
I'll get back in Anthem when they do their first deal. So.
Yep. I'll be back on September 9th.
Here's the fucked up part. Like, I played it on PC first because it came like a week early, and then I played it on Xbox. So like I'm actually kind of burned out from it.
You're
so
doubled up on it, man.
You double dipped there.
Oh man. Damn. Well, I don't know. Like, the way I look at it, I see people like heavily criticizing Anthem, but within the comparison with Division 2. I mean, and I feel like, yeah, you can criticize Anthem all you want, but I guess in my eyes, I'm looking at the two games now. Even though you're collecting loot, it depends on its end game and all that good stuff. Like, I feel like they're two different worlds, two different games basically. You have one where you're basically you're going for cover, and it has a cover mechanic, and you got enemies flanking you and stuff like that. I just see so many differences between the two games that I'm like, man, I'm not sure if I compare the two. You know what I'm saying?
I think you should give the Division 2 a try, bro. I think you should. I think you shouldn't miss out on that.
Brother, we broke, man. We broke.
Somebody gift Xbox.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Let's go, man. You gotta
let him mooch a little bit. Y'all motherfuckers don't give me shit. Y'all give Xbox shit all the goddamn time. Get that motherfucker.
Hook Xbox up with the Division 2.
Nah, brother. Yo, just recently, I got hooked up with DOA 6. And I'm happy with that, man. That is a great fighter right there. But maybe down the road we'll pick it up, and I'll be able to play with you guys, and this way you can.
Xbox, you son of a bitch!
What?
I was gonna play this game for gameplay this week,
dude. Oh man, I swear for almost an hour I was just messing around with the tornadoes because it was so much fun, yeah. Dude, as you can see, yeah. But all right. Well, moving on here, and let me take out my list of topics because we are all over the place right now.
It's in the chat. I got it in the Hangout chat.
Yeah, I don't even keep the Hangout up, brother. I keep OBS up. But let's move on to Xbox Live announced that they are basically Xbox Live is going to iOS and Android. All right, and with that, Microsoft has been talking about their new SDK, which will help developers, be able to put games on multiple devices. So this SDK, hopefully, we'll get achievements and stuff like that on mobile games. But they're talking about their development kit actually helping developers get their games on multiple devices. So whether they have to scale up or down or whatnot. Now, this has had this type of news has had a huge effect within the gaming communities. Certain YouTubers out there that are definitely on the Xbox platform. Every time news like this comes out, and it seems like people get more and more upset. Like I look at this as good news, all right, and for a couple reasons. But let's go to Knox on this. Knox, like, what did you think about when you heard Xbox announce that Xbox Live will be on iOS, it'll be on Android, and their development kits now are going to help developers cater to getting their games on multiple devices, whether it's console, PC, tablet, phone, or whatnot, man.
So you telling me that they're gonna be able to port Xbox One game and you could play it on your phone through Xbox Live? Is that what you're saying?
Well, they're putting Xbox Live, like I said, on Android, on iOS. Now, when it comes to their SDKs, that's a great question because I don't feel like it's going to be those mainstream, those big budget games that they're talking about getting on multiple devices. But of course, people are reporting that out there because you just kind of read the article and that's what it is. I feel like when it comes to these SDKs, people that have the smaller projects, the indie projects, can definitely, which have more room to scale up and down in accordance. I think those are the people that are going to use the SDKs for that. When it comes to the big hitting games, I feel like those are going to be in Game Pass and they're going to be streamed to your tablet or your phone or wherever you want those to go. Big budget games, the SDK will be used to, of course, to make it on the console and PC. But the smaller titles, I think those are the ones that will be able to scale down to cell phone, tablet, and whatnot. That's what I think's going on. I have no confirmation, but I think that makes sense. What do you think about that, man?
I mean, this is the route that they want to go, right? So that's what they're gonna do. So go ahead and let them do it. My concern is though, like we were just saying, right? You don't think that the big titles are gonna go and cross over to any of that, right? But are they gonna waste resources to make more of these games that are mobile like that because they can hit that 2 billion, user market that they want to hit?
What happened?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So
now I heard a click in the. I swear I'm starting to get ears like Crap Gamer, man. I was like, what's that click?
you know what I'm saying? So if they're gonna start using these major acquisitions that they made to be making, a bunch of little crappy games to put out there on that mobile market, as opposed to that console banger, then there's a cause for concern for me. You know what I mean? Like that. That's something that I think about because they really want to tap into those users. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then another thing, are you charging for Xbox Live on iOS and Android?
Knox, I knew you were gonna ask that. So far, I haven't seen anything about a price point for Xbox Live. I did hear a bunch about the features, putting in party chat, achievements on games, and stuff like that. But I didn't hear anything about a price to this, man.
I mean, well, the Xbox app already does all that, though. The Xbox app, you can start a party and talk right on the phone with a party that's playing the game. You could track achievements and compare them to your friends and all that.
Yeah, no, but achievements for the game. So what I'm thinking here is, and now Knox, we were talking about something like this yesterday, and people kept telling me, and I think Knox, you were one of them, that like the mobile space, like they want to play like Candy Crush and stuff like that.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
So if that's the case, and they're trying to get that $2 billion, and they want to ease them into streaming, actual Xbox games as well, but they know not a lot of, they know that there are going to be gamers out there that want kind of like that smaller mobile tailored experience. Doesn't it make sense to have your development kit and the developers that would like to do something like that, put out a game that way, have it developed easily through the SDK, and they're getting that market as well, which in turn makes more money for Xbox, which means more games for us.
As long as they're not, stretching their studios thin. If they got a whole division that's just solely handling that, go ahead and do that.
I figure like within the studios, you can have like a small team working on like a mobile type game as well, and still be working on a console / PC game coming out that the majority of the team is working on as well.
Well, I mean,
does it make sense? I'm saying I know people out there are so upset right now, and it's funny because if you look at what Google's trying to do, you hear Shawn Layden and his kind of like interview. It's obvious that everybody in the gaming industry wants to go this route, but Microsoft and Xbox, they actually have the framework to do it first. You see what I'm saying?
You honestly believe that all the console manufacturers, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, intend to make all their service, their consoles into services? That's what you're saying.
I've been saying for about 2 years now that their end game is to do that. Like PlayStation's end game, Xbox's end game is to make it a streaming service.
But then once you do that, what's to stop the third party companies from not doing that too? Like I said, EA already does it.
Mm-hmm.
Ubisoft already does it. You know what I'm saying?
Then you're going to see new types of marketing deals, man, where you'll see Ubisoft games on like the Xbox streaming platform, but it will be a deal written out. You see what I'm saying? As well. Or it'll be a limited time deal.
I'm gonna jump in real quick because I think you guys are looking in the direction. I kind of wish Don was here for this one. So when I read this, I didn't look at it as far as games going to just look in the bubble of just Xbox Live itself.
Okay,
like you're not playing online, you're not playing like what I think that the SDK is doing is basically saying Candy Crush will now get achievements through iOS. Not Xbox is going to put games on iOS. That's not that. Basically, you get an Xbox Live account. I don't know if you got to pay for it or not. Even if you don't pay for it, you're not playing games like Halo or The Division. For this account that you're getting, they're basically saying, look, all you new developers, if you want to make a game that tacks up achievements that shows up on the Xbox Live list. Like if I open up my Xbox, I can see that, Xbox playing, PUBG on mobile. Like I'll see that. And you can still rack achievements up. That's what it is. I didn't read this as anything about games whatsoever.
Well, yeah, and my bad. I put that together with the whole kind of like new SDK thing because I thought they were related. You know what I'm saying?
No. I'm reading the article and it says nothing about games. It's just talking about the service of Xbox Live, and the part of the service that you're getting by having this SDK available to you is your games the new games they make on mobile or iOS or Android or something like that will be tied to an Xbox account.
That's if the developer wants to do
it. If they want it, and it will help you rack up achievements. So achievement hunters that play on their phones, they can still rack up achievements. However, I think when people start talking, they start looking too deep into it, and they start thinking, they hear Xbox Live, they see iOS and Android, and they start immediately assuming games. And we have to get out of that mindset that Xbox isn't just a gaming division that just makes games. They have other services up under that umbrella. Simply Gone, Havoc, Xbox Live now. Like that's just a service of Xbox. It's not the whole Xbox. It's not the whole pie. It's just one section of it. So Xbox Live, having Xbox Live on every device is something completely different than having Xbox games on every device. You see what I'm saying?
No,
Yeah,
no doubt, no doubt.
I was vaping. Oh, my bad.
My thing is though. My thing is that eventually that is what they're setting up, though, Fred, right? Because they want to stream their stuff everywhere. Microsoft wants to do that.
Game Pass with xCloud, you'll be able to stream your games to your cell phone, tablet, multiple devices, possibly smart television or whatnot, which I feel is a great thing.
Yeah, and think of what else is tied into Xbox Live now. Mixer.
Okay.
So, like, you can be doing all that shit from your phone and streaming the Mixer at the same time from your phone. So that's crazy. A possibility. And that's one of the reasons why they bought Mixer in the first place. So like they can, like when they bought Mixer years ago, and I was like, oh man, like what was it before? I forgot what they called it before. Beam. And they were talking about how you can do like the instant the instant playing, like you can actually jump in someone's controller and play the game for them and get like the latency on it was so like minimal versus what you get on YouTube and stuff like that, and I always looked at that like they're gonna do something with this tech. That's why they bought this company that no one fucking heard of, because they had some kind of technology embedded in it that's gonna help them in the future. And this is all tying in to some degree. The Game Pass, the streaming, we hear you.
Oh no.
All that's going to tie in at some point in time. They just have to kind of work out the kinks of it first. That's why Mixer kind of came along, and you can actually stream now through your Xbox, because we couldn't do that the way before until we got Mixer or Beam. So,
okay, all right, I got you, man. Huge shout out to a family member, a podcast member who just got out of work, and I swear he probably didn't, just got out of work straight into the house, threw on the headset, turned on the mic. K Mega! Oh,
yeah. That's a good move right there.
Yeah. That's all I need to say.
What, you just pull your plug out your butt?
No.
Damn.
You know what? Maybe, Fred. Don't worry about it. But after today, I definitely need all of this.
Get you a drink, man. Get a drink on.
Oh my God. This is... Man, anyway, glad to be here. Sorry I was late, but of course, every time that I get the chance, I'm going to be here for my fam. So let's do it.
No doubt, brother. I hope you didn't work too hard, man. I hope you got enough energy.
I don't even want to think about that bullshit ass place right now. Let's just
all right.
Let's get to some game
dude,
talk.
We're talking about the announcement of Xbox Live on iOS and Android. Mm-hmm. All right, and I think Pred kind of broke it down a little bit better. Because we started thinking, because with the new SDKs that they announced as well, they're talking about making it easier to develop games that, for multiple devices. So whether it's, PC, console, tablet, cell phone, your smart refrigerator at home, like it'll be easy to make games for all that. But Pred kind of, he brought us back a little bit. And it was like, well, more games like, the Candy Crushes and stuff that you already have on your phone, like if the developers want to, with this SDK, they can put in like the achievements or a party chat and all that good stuff. What do you think about this announcement with Xbox Live, with the iOS and Android, bro?
Just more enhancements, more setup for the future of where gaming is going, pretty much. I got to agree with Pred. I mean, look, believe it or not, I know that there's a lot of people out there, especially us, so-called hardcore gamers, because we play different type of games, but these people would eat up the fact of having some kind of achievement score or some kind of validation for the hard time that they put, the long hours that they put into a Candy Crush or any of these type of games. I mean, so it's just another added feature for Xbox to just generate more people to Xbox Live. It's all about this reaching this 2 billion, and it to me is, like I said, it's just the future. It's this new wave. The streaming era it has begun, and you either can hop on it or you can jump off, but it's not going to stop. It's here. I mean, I don't know if people knew, we talked about this on GRG last night, but Snapchat is going to jump into the streaming service. So
really,
yeah, Snapchat is going to start doing a gaming streaming service as well. So this isn't just some pie in the sky. This isn't just some fly by night 3D television stuff. This is really what everybody is going to. I mean, and even if even PlayStation had to change their perspective by going to users and players instead of talking about just the actual numbers, because you can't really go by sales if you're streaming your product, and it's always going to come to how many people are playing on those products. So it's just this is just what it is. And look, I you know what I'm saying, I know that Xbox is getting a lot of flack for this, but at the end of the day, we're the ones that's going to be the fossil in the next 10, 15 years, and it's going to be the younger generation that do play on the go a lot more than what we do.
Dude, they
that's
grew up on that, man.
Right. They're going to dictate the market, and the market is going that way. They already see this writing on the wall.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Now, I got to ask you, because I think that's a pretty good segue. Did you check out the Shawn Layden interview that people were posting up on Twitter about like the future of PlayStation and whatnot, Mega?
Yeah, I caught a little bit. I read the majority of it, but I didn't catch. I was reading something that I got this week, but I didn't know if he had a actual interview with somebody. I didn't see that.
Well, in the article, basically people are saying within that article, like, I seen a couple things where he was expressing that, this is where the industry is going, and I couldn't nail down anything where he was like, absolutely, PlayStation is doing this, like moving into the future. But he was definitely talking about PlayStation Now a lot, restructuring, catering to customers with PlayStation Now, the backwards compatibility, and all that good stuff. What kind of keynotes did you take from that article with Shawn Layden? Was there anything there that you thought was really interesting?
Well, to me, it's more about what they're doing instead of what they're saying. It's when you see that they're enhancing their infrastructure. For them also saying that they have to enhance PlayStation Now, talking about talking the same rhetoric that Phil Spencer was talking about, the 2 billion gamers, all of that. And then hearing about the rumors about that they could be partnering up with somebody, or they could be doing something on their own if they got the right people behind it, even hiring people to work on this new infrastructure thing for PSN. Just keep looking at that instead of just listening to that, because they know what they started with their fan base this generation, with the whole exclusive thing, the 1080p thing, all of that, right? So they know that they have to tread a little lightly. And the one thing that PlayStation has always been doing properly is this generation especially is gave a better message than the rest of the competition out there. So they know where the toast is buttered, so they have to ease their gamers into it, while Xbox is kind of taking the approach of what PlayStation did this gen by just kind of saying, here you go, boom, we're going to do it this way if you like it or not. And PlayStation knows they got to reverse it and do something a little bit different. So Shawn Layden is basically giving the hints. It's just that he knows.
He definitely is. I'm looking through the article again and talking about things like, he was like, when he first started at PlayStation, like gaming was just it was kind of like this niche thing that either kids or teenagers played, but now it's way past that. People in college, they don't evaporate from gaming anymore, and gaming's become a part of people's lives to the point where, like, that he feels that PlayStation needs to expand as well. So yeah, I can see kind of like the words under the words with this article, man.
Right, and that's basically what it is. It's not so much. It's the start of the ease moment, and then we'll see what Xbox does when they're at GDC, how they get received, and then they'll watch that, and then they'll do diligence to do what they need to do when the time that they start finally show their show at the end of the year, which is smart strategy for them, of course, because they would probably have to kind of rush things, or maybe not so much rush things at E3, but definitely have to get people to understand where they're going.
This is the deal when it comes to Sony, like skipping E3 and having their own show later on in the year. You know how many times people are like, well, Microsoft shouldn't go first. Why are they always taking the first spot at E3 and going first, and then Sony can change and stuff like that? I feel like with Sony kind of like skipping E3, they're forcing Xbox to show their hand, and for Sony to have more control on, they can show whatever they want to show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you could be absolutely right like that. Like, I mean, like I said, PlayStation this generation has played played chess, while Xbox in a lot of cases played checkers. You know what I'm saying? So it's more the thing where now Xbox has to start bringing the narrative their way, and they are in a way because they're sticking close to their guns. They're sticking close to the vest of what they believe that gaming is going to become and what they want to be, and now it's turning the tide of just look. I mean, gamers is going to have to adjust, and I know that there's gamers that are saying that they won't, but let's just be real, they will. If they're real gamers, they will adjust just like we've always have. I mean, we went from cartridge to disc to different size controllers to power to hard drives to from memory cards to everything in the sun for what people somewhere down the line complained and bitched about to now that they.
Dude, you remember when the games jumped up to $60? Dude, I thought we were all gonna riot. Do you guys remember that? I think it was when the 360 came out, right? They're like, oh, we can't.
Oh, I was seeing games on the back on the set on the Dreamcast that was popping up being $60. Now, if you go back to times where there not all those games back in the early 90s, late 80s. Those Nintendo, those games that seem like those Japanese ports, like Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger and stuff like that. Yeah, those games were like $70-$80. They were crazy amount of money for a cartridge game. I remember I was looking at one game. I didn't see. I just looked at the box and I thought it looked really cool. And I went to my mom and I remember it plain as day. I went to my mom. I was at Toys R Us and we was getting some Christmas stuff. And I showed this to my mom. I said, I want this. She's like, do you know what this is? I said, yeah. I lied. I said, yeah. And then she looked at the price and she says, well, you're just going to have to imagine it in your own head because I'm not paying no damn $75 for no goddamn game. I was like, but I really want it. Nope. And I never got the chance to play that game until I became grown. So that's just so yeah. So there was games that was expensive at one point in time, but I mean, we've been very fortunate for games to stay at the $60 price for as long as it has. That's why I just don't understand why people bitch and complain about DLC or extra content for these guys when it's optional.
Yo, Mega, real quick, somebody's at the front door. While I go take care of this real quick, can you let people know what you thought about Inside Xbox if you watched it or not? And I will be right back.
Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely watched it. I watched it late after I got off work, but by the way, what's up, Knox? I'm glad that you're back.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. And Fred, go jump in the damn leg, bro. I seen it.
I can't even swim.
Oh, I can swim. Hey, man, I got my guppy license and my dolphin license from the YMCA. Watch them now. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool that how they presented the women at the beginning of the show and just had them throughout. My only complaint, even though it was cool when they first talked about it, it was kind of like a mini documentary of the lady that taught at USC. He had the gaming class. I thought that was really cool, but it just kind of went too long. I had to agree with my boy OP on that because I was like, oh man, come on now. Can we get on there? I mean, I'm happy and it's great and all that. I know it's kind of like a promotion for kind of like a promoting thing for her to try to get more students to come out there and all that stuff. But I hope her game does well. But other than that, it was a little bit too long. But I really thought it was really cool. The whole controversy about the lady that played the xCloud.
Dude, what was up with that? She was pumping the right trigger. Come on, bro.
Look, man. I'm all on that. Did you see the Brad Sam video? Because he broke it down and he demonstrated in LL Boogie, our guest from last week. She says, I play just like that. So I don't understand. And so it turned into one of these things, which is unfortunate, because there was a lot of people saying it was fake. Guys was jumping her and saying that. But I did like her swag about it because she did respond. And one dude was going off talking about how fake she was, and then posted a video and tried to do the comparison. And she said, baby, and I knew right then and there that she was about her business, man. She had some swag to her. She said, baby, let me just tell you like this. It was real. I played the game. I don't have to lie about anything. The real thing is what you gonna play. Like, and you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't for word verbatim, but it was basically like that. Like, hey, why are you worried about what I'm doing instead of playing the game? xCloud is dope. It's gonna come out, and you'll get to see it for yourself. So I really thought that was really cool that she stood her ground. Of course, maybe that I don't know, maybe she just wasn't used to getting so much flack. But welcome to social media.
Yeah,
because
I know, right?
Everything about social media, that's what it's all about. Like attention is the new currency. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody wants to be validated by following the certain crowd. It's just like with
deep and shit with that thought.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, just think about that for a second. Like everybody is always trying to grab somebody's attention. If you paid attention to social media, you would think that Captain Marvel bombed.
Captain Marvel is a good movie, man.
It was a great man. My old lady went and seen it twice. She seen it with me earlier this week, and then she just came back today and took her mom to go see it. She loved that movie, and I thought the movie was good. It wasn't up to me. It wasn't a top tier Marvel movie, but it was really good, and I really felt the coolness about it, like I did about Black Panther, like how Black people felt that way of prestige. Black people on that level is kind of like that endearment of women getting through and persevering. And I dug that because I seen it on my old lady's face, how she just loved that. And she's not into these Marvel movies like that. So I really dug that. So it's just like, to me, it's like, why don't we just wait and see for ourselves? I mean, we can say whatever and say, yeah, I kind of think that was kind of fake or was pre-recorded, but to keep attacking and berating that individual because of it is just ignorant. So that's what I'm saying. That's why, I'm going to say that phrase again.
All right.
You want to say that you're saying attention is, is the currency. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So.
All right. Well, I got you. Now, within all this, and I referenced like Crossfire last night, but there was a couple. It got really heated, man. There was some debates going on last night. It was crazy. There was people and people on the panel, people in the chat were saying that they didn't need to show that at that point in time because, like, I was watching her play and I was looking at like when she would hit left or right and when the car would actually turn and stuff like that. And there's definitely latency. They're doing a year of testing starting this year when it comes to the xCloud. Now, Mega, how do you feel about like, people saying that they didn't really need to show that now? And why do you think they did when it's like so early? To me, it just looked like the guy was so proud of what they accomplished there, and they knew that they were going to iron it out. And I feel like they wanted to be the first to show this streaming to this capacity. They wanted to be the first to put it out there. So this way, it's out there. It's in the archives. We all know. Xbox showed, the cell phone with Forza and everything like that running. That's why I think they did it. But what do you think, Ben? Do you think it was a good time inside Xbox this past week? Do you think it was a good time to show it, or should they have held it until after some testing and stuff?
Anytime that they're showing anything new should be welcomed, and that's what everybody's been saying that they want from Xbox, for inside Xbox.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, why complain about it? Why? I mean, it just seems like people just want to jump on this bandwagon of just wanting to bitch and complain. Look, if you thought that it was fake, then you thought it was fake. That's cool or whatever. But it was new. It was something new that was shown that we have been talking about and speculating about, and they showed it. And like you said, they felt proud enough to show that. And
that dude was glowing, man.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously they have to feel that the thing is going to be definitely legit, and it also probably opens up a whole different Pandora's box of everybody else that's like, whoa, they're already maybe 2-3 steps ahead already, or we're right there with them, so let's keep going and keep pushing or whatever. I mean, this stuff is still a year off most likely. So I mean, just for them to show it, I thought it was great. And on that platform, on that stage where people have been asking for new stuff, I don't see where the problem is.
Nice. Now, yo, Knox, I know we talked about it last night, but just kind of refresh my memory. What do you think about them with showing that Project xCloud? Do you think that it was too early to put it out there in terms of, because they're gonna do a whole year of testing with kind of like a closed group of people out there on Xbox Live. Do you think it was too early?
My thing is this: it's not even. It's not. Do I think it's too early? I think if it wouldn't have looked like it didn't work, people wouldn't care, and that's why. And that's why people maybe they just pre-recorded and maybe it is ready to go and maybe it is ready to to be played and it'll function as intended, right?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they just put a recording. They used to do that with Connect all the time, right? Put features that Connect don't even have and shit. and
you can scan your skateboard into the game.
Yeah, so maybe they just did that approach, but the technology is ready and it does work. But my thing is, if you're not gonna show it working properly, like if you don't have those I's dotted and those T's crossed right there, don't show it. If you're gonna show it broken so that people could bitch and moan and say negative shit about it, then don't even do it. Just get it right and then do it.
I got you, man. Like I saw the dude. I'm sorry I forgot his name on the show, but he's heading this project, and like I saw the confidence.
Oh, Kareem something. Yeah, he has my same name, so I'm like, I know his first name.
Yo, is Pred away from the mic? Because I was going to him next. Like, what's going on here? Pred, you there? Oh, all right. Well, Pred, what do you think about them like showing the Project xCloud like that? Of course, there was controversy, people saying she wasn't playing the game. I definitely noticed latency, but I do know that they have a year of testing to smooth everything out, and I thought it was pretty incredible. What they were doing from the get, like just to see Forza Horizon 4 running on a cell phone like that, I thought was pretty incredible. But do you think that they showed it off too early, brother?
I will say I think they kind of showed it off a little too early. Unless they're planning on announcing it this year, and it isn't even the fact they showed it off early; it's the fact it wasn't shown off properly. I think that's what Knox was alluding to a while ago, like. Like Crackdown when they showed that on what was it, GDC or whatever it was a couple of years ago.
VGA.
They had that lady
when they had drunk celebrities playing it.
No, that was Gamescom.
And it's like you got somebody playing the game and they don't even know really how to play a video game, and like it's like when you showcase something like that for the first time, you don't have someone showcasing it that doesn't know what they're doing.
Yes.
Like you put someone on there that you don't want to put like like an Xbox guy on there, like just like an Xbox exec up there playing it, because then we don't think like this isn't real. Like grab somebody from the crowd.
Get Larry Herb with his white gloves to play the game. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's gonna go through testing phases, I'm sure, and we'll get the real deal. This is just like an early preview of what's gonna come. So I'm not going to hold a lot of weight on what they showed on TV until like I actually see a fan or, I start seeing more of it. And then I can gauge on how good or bad it really is. But I think announcing it this way was one thing. I think it could have been displayed a little better than what it was. So I won't say that it was really early. I just think it was properly showcased to the fans to give us. Basically, it's a way to give us something to grab and complain about. Like Mega was saying, we've been asking for new shit, and I think the problem is the new shit we're getting isn't really gaming. It's just more peripherals, and like we got new controllers. We get like new features, but like when we ask for new shit, I think we're just looking for newer games.
Brother. Now with them showing xCloud, and you see how the host played that game, played Forza. Now you can see, like, I was trying to tell people that, you're going to be able to use your controller to stream. So that's why they're making more different colored controllers, different looking controllers. That's why they got the design lab and they put the controllers out there. Now, Pret, do you see what's going on here? If you're bringing your controller with
years ago, I said this, and this was back when I was doing Console Corner. We had this debate about custom consoles versus custom controllers. And I was the first one that said I would rather have a custom controller, even though I ain't bought one, right? But like, it's just cheaper to make. It's easier to get out. And the thing is, you only need one console to play a game. You don't need 15. I know there's collectors out there that do this shit, but like, I'd rather collect the $50, $60 controller than to collect the fucking $500 console. Like, I would buy, you know,
and you make more on it too.
And they make more money off of it too. And then when they did the whole what was it, the lab or whatever they call it,
design lab.
I thought that was great. Yeah, I bought my daughter a controller for her birthday last year, like, and she thought it was the most amazing thing ever. It's got her name on it and everything. She's like, takes that thing everywhere she goes, you know. So like, that's cool. Like, it's another aspect. So like, imagine, you know, you make your design lab controller and you take it and you put your little fucking phone up there and like you were saying, like, that's where they're going. We were talking about this last topic about the iOS and stuff like that, Android. Like, there you go. That's why. Like, you get your controller, your custom made fucking controller, you get your damn TV, your little phone or whatever you want to put up there, or tablet, whatever the hell you want to play on, and you're in Xbox, and you've only spent $50 on Game Pass and another $50 on the fucking controller.
And that's what I'm saying, Pred. And that's why people are saying, how are you going to make the console relevant now? Because
there's still going to be us.
Because they're still going to keep
hardcore gamers that want a console. Like, I don't want to play on a phone. That's just an option.
Yeah, but all right, but you will have to assume that eventually they're going to stream this to TVs as well, right? Because the smart, you know, these TVs have all the same. They have all the same apps. So if I could literally log into the Xbox app on my OLED, right, and just fire it off from there, and if it's streaming from them, right, it's supposed to be their servers on their end, so it's supposed to be mad powerful, right? It
let me explain this in a way that makes sense. All right, how much is a 4K TV right now?
I can tell you
on the top end,
$17.99 for a 55-inch QLED.
Okay, so $17.99, right? Now imagine that TV that can play your games, and you don't have to buy a $500 console, but you're still playing through Xbox with no latency.
That's what I'm saying.
That works. Like,
but that's
exactly what I'm saying.
But hold on, but this is where I mentioned this in GRG last night, because this is the thing where I think where console gamers get it twisted, right? Is the fact that our experiences is us playing games through the box on our television. Not so much of us playing our games on a laptop or on a cell phone. I mean, I really wouldn't care about playing a game on a cell phone. On a laptop or a tablet, yeah, I would if I'm like got a little downtime at work or something like that, or if I'm gone somewhere. But for the most part, where I want my gaming experience to be is on that console. If they added Xbox Live to Samsung televisions, then you're still not going to get what you would get from that box. That's why the box is always going to be relevant. It's just another option for that particular gamer that don't really care about it. Just think of it from perspective of PC gamers, of how you have one group that's always acknowledged, this super computer rigged computer guys.
Power rigs,
but with the majority of them, and I'm thinking it's probably 95% of PC gamers, they don't have those big rigs like that. So they would be more interested if they have a lesser PC than you get from the Xbox One X or the PlayStation Pro. You don't think that would snap something on their head like, whoa, I could play on this service and get 1080p, 1440p, 60 frames per second? Sign me up. That ain't going to be for us, but that's for them. It's just the option. That's
check this out. Dragon Wolf in the chat, basically. Shout out to Dragon Wolf. Like, Dragon Wolf said, personally, I'm looking forward to streaming my games at work to help with my backlog. Like, dude, I'm surprised more gamers aren't thinking that way. Like, this thing has become, like, so either pro or anti. And there's a lot of anti out there. And me, myself, personally, I don't see why. I don't, like, if you're...
Because it's like I said, Bob, attention is that new currency, bro.
No, but I don't think it's anti anything. I really don't. I just think people are genuinely concerned. Listen,
Microsoft, what options?
Okay, you got out, but eventually, eventually you gotta consider that more people gonna want things easier, right? If I know there's always gonna be people that are gonna get a console, right, to a certain degree, but if you keep putting those options out there, you do kill the need and the relevancy for the console unit.
So you don't want gaming to progress? Look, this is.
But Knox, will you still be playing the games?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So is everybody prepared for? It's just going to be an app. So this basically, what you guys are saying is that by the next 10 years or so, console becomes irrelevant and gaming just gets streamed over an app.
I say that okay, it will eventually happen that way, but the technology has to be there, because even though the fact of it is that the younger gamers out there will be all on this whole streaming thing, and like I said, they'll be the ones that's dictating the future of where gaming goes, but there still will be relevancy for us older gamers that likes the old way. And as long as we keep buying those consoles and not just following the trends, then they're going to keep continuing to sell them. That's the thing that you need to worry about, is not the companies, but the people themselves that did all this bitching and complaining, but then they over here riding this new wave like while the rest of the younger generation is, and then that's when you need to worry. But it's not so much about the company, because as long as there's always a buyer, they will sell it to you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they're fragmenting their own market, though, right? Because they're putting their services on so many different things.
No, that's expanding. How can you add? That's subtracting. That don't make any sense.
But you're gonna have losses in the console space. You're gonna lose console sales because people are gonna embrace those options.
Okay, Knox,
it's gonna be cheaper.
Hold on. Let me stop you, because again, you're still tying yourself to a console.
Right.
What did I say earlier? It's a service.
That's what I'm saying. You're tying yourself to a service, not a console.
Or whatever.
Then.
Yeah.
Not
So that's the mindset you gotta get out of, man. Get out of the mindset of being tied to the box.
Right.
You're tied to Xbox. So if you want to be an Xbox gamer, if you like you're still gonna get your games.
Mm-hmm.
You're still gonna be able to play Halo. You're still gonna play all this other stuff. And that matter of fact, you're doing it cheaper.
Want to play it on. Like, so if you are a console gamer, and if that's what you do, they have a console there, and it's pretty much, besides like PC in terms of power, and depending on what type of PC you have, the console is probably the best price point for the highest quality that you're going to play those games. And, when Xbox talks about those 2 billion gamers out there, do you not think that the gaming community, the millions of people that have an Xbox One, do you think they're not part of that 2 billion as well? Now, what's going to happen here, you're going to have options, right? You're going to have Game Pass where you can stream games on multiple devices and do what you want. If you're into consoles, you can buy a console. If you're PC, then, they got the Play Anywhere, and first party is going to PC. Now, as long as all those ecosystems stay active, they are going to keep supporting all those ecosystems. But if, for some rhyme or reason, the console gamers start trending to a streaming service, even through its latency and stuff like that, if they have a tendency to go that way, then you would be a dumb corporation if you didn't go the way that everybody is going, that your consumers are going. You see what I'm saying?
Let me make this one point too. All right. Now, this has got to be the largest selling console of all time. The PS2 it has to be. But I'm just going to read these numbers to you. The PS2 has sold over 158 million since of January of 2013. So let's raise that up to, let's just hypothetically say 200 million, right? The PS2. When is any console in its live generation has sold anywhere near that? How do you think? Do you think PlayStation 5 is
closest one is PS4?
What'd you say?
The closest one is the PS4.
Okay, right. But it's close to 100 million, right?
Yeah, it's roughly, I would say it's over 100 million.
Okay, so do you think, honestly,
I'm not sure if it'd be over 100 million.
It's over. Not big, not huge. Not huge.
Let's just say that it's at 110 million right now. Let's just say hypothetically, wait, it's just the giggles, right? Do you think that any console, no matter how the most popular consoles that's coming out, which we might say this to PlayStation 5. Do you think that any console can generate up to 2 billion gamers?
No,
No,
that's
it can't. It's easy. If people have this crazy ass mindset that the PlayStation 5 can, I should say not the PlayStation 5, but the PlayStation can thrive off of just this 100 million, 150 million consoles sold, while all its competition is over here getting 120 million, 130 million, and they're not even working on caring about the console sales on that end. It's all about the user base because they're making more money. Then I guarantee you in the next 5 to 10 years that Sony is going to get bought out by somebody. If they have that crazy mentality, that's why Sony has got to jump on this.
They got
to jump on it soon. Yeah,
Sony is jumping on it. Yeah.
No console is going to ever sell that many to that many users out there because there's people that's headstrong on want to play on their PC
shout out
and mobiles.
Shout out to Christopher Hart, like in the chat. He says streaming will accompany consoles, not end consoles.
I agree. I totally agree.
That's where I'm not getting like why people don't like why, when it comes out it's like it's either one or the other, and it's like, well, at this point in time right now the options are opening up. So you can play your games wherever you want. If you're a console gamer and you're at like a boring family reunion or something and you got your phone there, if you want, you can just put on your Game Pass and play a game that you want to play while you're there. It'll accompany your console game. And from that aspect, I don't know why people aren't more excited about it. And it seems like there's a lot of people out there, YouTubers, gamers, people on Twitter that are trying to fight back on it. And it's like, well, it's going to help you out as well. Even if you don't like playing a game on a phone, there's games that you're going to like in these streaming services that you'd be like, you know what? I'm bored as hell here at DMV waiting for my number. I might as well, let's take a PlayStation game. I might as well throw Uncharted in for a little bit until I hear my number or something like that. I mean, what's not to like about that?
We're the only ones that are going to be taking advantage of those options.
That's not necessarily true. That's always going to be a console
the already existing console gamer is going to benefit from those things. Yes.
How is that a bad thing?
It's not. Do I think that it's going to be bringing them in new customers? Not as much as everybody's thinking, man. That's just me. Unless they're going to get into making these mobile games. People just don't play AAA games, man, like on the road, like on when they try. At least I don't see it. I don't know if you guys see it. I don't see it. I commute every day. People, you don't even see a guy pull out a Switch. Very, very rarely do I see one. And that's as close as
I got somebody at my vape shop that every time I go over and I take over his shift, he has his Switch on the counter. He was playing that while there were no customers in the shop and stuff like that.
But that's uncomfortable. But see, that's another thing though too. It's accessibility. I do gotta book it though, guys.
My bad. All right, Knox, my bro.
Yeah, man, it was good, man. Damn. Oh shit, it's the Don.
Yeah, don't leave without saying hi.
Don, what is up, brother?
Yeah.
All right, well, there you go, man. See, we tagging out.
Man, I get messages. What are you guys talking about?
We're talking about Kumbaya.
We was talking about you going to that R. Kelly concert last night.
Man, I know you're the one with the sheets that smell like piss, man. I don't know.
No.
Peace out to the chat. Peace out to the panel. I have a good one.
Peace, Knox,
all right, brother.
Glad to have you back, brother.
Later. Thank you, brother. You all ready?
No, we were talking about
play.
Go ahead,
Steve. What is going on? It's like singing in the shower right now.
Hey.
Well, no, Don, it's good to have you on the show, brother. I see you've been like kind of quiet lately because people have been going a little crazy with this whole kind of like xCloud and streaming and all that good stuff. You got Shawn Layden talking about basically he recognizes where the game industry is going, and they're gonna also kind of like cater to the gamer out there in terms of trying to get the games on streamed on multiple devices or whatnot. And I was just wondering like why people like there's been such a negative reaction to all this when if you're a console gamer and you play on console, you're getting a console. You're going to get games to be played on that console. And for the price point of a console, you're going to get the highest quality experience. Now, if you're stuck at DMV or you're stuck, at Aunt Gertrude's house or something and you're bored out of your mind, at least you would have like the option with Game Pass and the xCloud streaming to possibly play a game for a little while, adding to your experience as a gamer, to your options on what you want to do, in your everyday life. Like, I don't understand what the big deal is.
Yeah, I think people just... Here's the thing. Like, I talked about this on Devin the Gamer, so shameless plug for Mega there.
That still exists? I think I got a blurry picture of that show.
Yeah, man. Every once in a while, it pops up, and then people are like, well, what is this show?
It's like it's like a smooth rash.
What?
I don't know.
Well,
Yo.
I guess that's the only time I've had that described as me.
Anyway.
But anyways. But no, I've always said it's a complementary thing. I never said it's going to be replacing. I think people get a little bit ahead of themselves to think streaming it's going to replace consoles. I don't think it's ever going to replace consoles. There's just physics you can't get around. It's simple as that. Like, it is so much quicker reaction time to have stuff run locally. Mm-hmm. And as I said, you can squeeze that time to be closer to the same experience, but it's always going to be a different experience. And that's where I look at it. I mean, honestly, the only thing I see streaming threatening is personal, portable gaming, like the traditional Game Boys and stuff like that. That's the stuff that's going to disappear. Because it's always been a compromised experience, but now you can have a better visual experience and maybe a compromise slightly on the control side of things. And I think that's the one that's really in the danger of disappearing, if any. But
Don, actually, if it's any other company but Nintendo, I'll say yeah to that. But with Nintendo and their first party and everything like that, like with the Switch and possibly the Switch Mini coming out and all that good stuff, I think Nintendo would be that kind of like awkward cousin that would still be successful in that genre, while every other company fails.
Well, what happens when their stuff is streaming from them?
Dude, that's what I've been wondering about that, man.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, with Nintendo's the only one I see really changing a whole lot. I mean, here's the thing: is like, PC gaming it can be an incredibly better experience when it all comes together, right? Mm-hmm. But does that prevent people from buying consoles?
No.
And that's the same thing with this. This is just a different tier of customer in regards to that. And, a lot of people like to say things like the hardcore or the casual gamer. They're just gamers. Every gamer has the potential of being the gamers like that are on this podcast. They're really into it. You just have to provide them with the right experiences and kind of get them into it. And everyone's going to get into it at different levels. So,
dude, that makes sense, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, whether you're a hardcore gamer and you're a seasoned veteran or you're a casual gamer playing, like, say in the mobile space, the light games or whatnot, you do have, like, we're all gamers at the end of the day, and you give them the right experience, and they're going to throw in. I know a lot of casual gamers, like, when it comes to, like, Bubble Witch Saga or something like that, I mean, they know life that thing, like a hardcore gamer.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to put it in front of them, and that's really always kind of been the issue. So, like, here's the thing: like, you may lose some console gamers to streaming. You may lose some console gamers to PC, but for all those people that you lose, you will also gain some too, if not more.
They'll come back. Once they see what PC's like, they'll come back.
But people bounce between PC and console all the time, so why won't you see people bounce between console and streaming here and there? Like that, there's going to be a deficit in an experience there. When there's a deficit in experience, then there's incentive for people to purchase the thing, and that's just the harsh reality. I mean, I've heard people argue, well, yeah, the next generation of gamers, all they care about is a tablet. You know what? Yeah, you know what? All I had as a kid was a 13-inch color television to play my games on. Guess what I have now? A 55-inch color TV, right?
So you upgraded your initial experience, though, is what you're saying.
Exactly. I upgraded my experience. What's going to prevent the next generation of gamers doing the same thing for themselves?
Well,
Nothing.
but see, with that, Don, all I'm saying with that is like, that generation that grew up with their mom throwing their cell phone like, here, play this game, or throwing their tablet down, here, play this game, and that's what like they've lived through with childhood. To play a game on a smaller screen is no big deal for them because that's what they kind of like lived through. You know what I'm
But
saying?
it was no big deal to me growing up. But do I ever want to go back? No, I don't want to go back.
No.
I mean, I have like 6 nephews. They're all different ages, right? They all kind of, they span the cell phone, group, and not a single one of them is the same type of gamer. Some graduated to PC, some graduated to console, some do PC and console. They love the fact that there's crossplay. Everyone wants to take one little thing and take it out of context, and it's weird to me. And I've always said, like, the real exciting stuff for me has always been like what you can't do locally to offload to the cloud and then run it back on a local device. I mean, that's I kind of look at it as like the 90-10 split, right? The 90% of it run locally, and the 10% run remotely on certain things you just never could do on local hardware. And I think that's where the real innovation we'll see and come from this, and it'll be slow.
Dude,
but
when it comes to the stream box that like has been rumored and talking about the hardware underneath that hood to help with like latency and stuff, I'm interested to see exactly what they're doing there.
Yeah, and they can help bridge the gap, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't expect it to do the same, right? Like it's just speed of light. Like, speed of light is speed of light. We can travel to different universes. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen even in our lifetime. That's just the harsh reality. But but there's a market for it. And I think back to what K Mega was saying, like, it's funny you mentioned that. I have, I hang out with different CEOs of different companies outside of gaming.
Oh, excuse me, like that, not name dropping, but title dropping right there.
But
hang out with CEOs.
But this points out a point, right? Like, they were talking about their business, and their business was they advertised through Google. It's an online business. They constantly got majority of their sales, majority of their clicks through Google. And they had growth, but the growth kind of almost slowed down to a halt, if that makes any sense. And they're like, what do we do? Well, you have to reach a different audience. So they didn't stop advertising on Google, right? Because there's still a small bit of growth there. It makes sense to continue to invest dollars there.
Dude,
but they start advertising into social media. And I still think social media is kind of foreign to me, a little weird to me, but they start advertising, and they saw, it was like 60% growth in the business in just a year. And that happens because they went through a different channel and avenue, and they weren't reaching the full potential of the audience that buys their products.
See, you sound like you're talking about 2 billion consumers out there.
Well, I mean, I don't think they'll get to 2 billion. I think that's a little bit. I mean, you have to have a ridiculous number to shoot.
Well, you got to strive for that goal. You got to set your goals high.
Let's say you shoot for 2 billion and you get another 7 to 8 million customers that continues to engage in your product, whatever means they feel it's necessary, and they're giving you money. Money's money.
They're giving you money.
I mean, that's what it boils down to. So, I mean, I think it just works for a different group of people. It just doesn't work for everybody. I think gamers need to be a little more mindful that there are different customers than themselves. And it's something I have to be aware of constantly, because the type of game I'm developing, I can't make it for everybody, right? But I do have to be self-aware of what's out there.
Okay. That definitely makes sense. Yo, Predator, you got anything to chime in here, man?
He started singing R. Kelly, and then he went to...
Yeah, he just went to sleep. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
Is he muted? I don't know. I don't have the hangout.
Let me look. I can't...
I was muted. My daughter's walking out the door.
Hello, Predator's daughter! I mean, see you later, Predator's daughter. But, dude, like, when it comes down to it, you have anything to add into, like, with this whole like streaming thing and like people out there being so negative? I'm pretty sure you heard, some of what Don said. I love with the whole CEO thing, because the social media, I feel like social media is like that streaming service, you know, and their Google is like the console. Like I was able to mirror that whole story into what's going on now, and it made a lot of sense, man.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of discussing this earlier. It's just, you know, when Knox was on, like he's so hell bent on just the box, you know, like, and Microsoft is such a bigger division of Xbox is such a bigger division than just the box. It's not just the box. It's everything they've encompassed and purchased over the past, you know, several years that makes their gaming division what it is. So when you take the box out of it, I mean, look at it financially. Like, how much money do they make on these consoles?
Really nothing.
Nothing, right? And so if you take the console out of it, you're saving yourself money. So, like, at the end of the day, and me and Knox talked about this when we were playing a game, when we were playing Anthem one time, and like, I'm like, you could take a CD, even though no one buys them anymore. You could take a CD, you could put it in your PC, you can put it in your car, you can put it in your Discman back in the day. Like, it goes with you everywhere. And the gaming division is the only place where something is tied to one system. Like that disc you buy, you can't use anywhere else. And so Microsoft is just basically saying, you know what, let's take that away. Like, we went digital with CDs. Why can't we go digital with video games and make it relevant? Like, everyone's not ready for this move yet, but like, think about how it helps the company and how it's going to help us as gamers. Like, why would I want to spend $600 on a console if I could spend, you know, $100 for a controller and a subscription service and play on my TV? The same fucking game. Same game.
It's still not the same experience.
It's not the same experience.
That's the thing. But the thing, you know,
that's why you're buying the console, because you're buying it for the experience. But for the casual person, you're gonna buy it for the game.
Well, and that's the thing is, so the people that care about that stuff, they'll pick up on it. Like, they'll totally pick up on it. People that don't care won't care.
Don't care. Yeah, right.
That's the harsh reality.
At the end of the day, if I could spend, I mean, you weren't here when we mentioned this, Don, but like you can buy a QLED for $1,700, right? And if I can use that same fucking QLED and buy $100 subscription service and a controller and play 4K 60 that way with minimal latency to play a game like, I don't know, a single player experience. I'll put it that way. Let me say that. And I can play that game and not have any issues. Why do I need a console? And I think that's what everyone's concern is. Like, they're just so tied to the console, they're forgetting they're supposed to be gamers.
Well, and that's the thing. It's a personal choice. So you got to decide for yourself. Like, I don't feel threatened by streaming at all. Like,
especially if it works. If it works,
I'm a hardware guy. I'm not threatened by streaming at all. I know what it's going to do, and I know it's not for me. I know hardware is not going away, because all the server farms need continuous hardware to be on the market to bring down the cost of the server farms. And it becomes more and more expensive to run those things. So you do need more energy efficient, more powerful hardware to put in the servers. It's an ecosystem. They all need each other. Like, you can't separate one from the other. And all this is bringing it all together. Like, it's the glue that's holding it all together versus creating these different walls. And people keep thinking of these different walls. And once you realize this hardware is hardware and they all need each other, then I think it calms everyone down. I hope it all comes out just so soon so people can just kind of wrap their head around it. It's going to take about 3 months for a lot of gamers. But once you kind of pull off that Band-Aid, man, they're going to just all chill out.
Well, I don't know, though. But see, that's the thing, though, Don. It was just something that I said. I'm not going to say it again, but it was the point that I made was that, look, if people just keep paying attention to social media and listening to certain people complain just to complain for those clicks, then I fear for anything potentially great for the future of gaming. Because if they listen to that rhetoric, then they're going to be like Knox. I mean, there are people that are hellfire just struck. That's just like, man, I'm not. I just will not. I refuse to touch anything that is not a console. And just think of it from the perspective, just the digital.
They won't hold the industry back. Like, that's the thing. It's but they'll miss out on the experience.
They'll miss out. But then yet it's the thing that there's so many people that listen to these people and take their words for a grain of salt. To whereas to the degree that they feel that these people are legit in what they're saying when it's really not. Like I would beg anybody that's listening they'll listen here now or listen later, that if you listen to people and if all they do is talk bad about something, how is that benefiting gaming? It's not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look. I can understand there's a difference between having a complaint and saying what needs to be done in a sense to make things better. But when you come out and just negatively just talk bad and berate everything that's not something that you enjoy, or that's just your MO for your channel, how is that benefiting gaming at all?
Well, eventually that's going to hurt them. That's what it boils down to. So what's going to happen is people eventually move on. They realize, oh, I get what this is all about. And their integrity is on the line. And that's the harsh reality. And I can't tell how many people I've heard from the community, and I'm not going to say what channels they're not watching, but they're just sick of going to it. And the reason why they're sick of going to it is because all the negativeness of it, and they're not being level-headed, and it's those same people that you're talking about. So eventually, you burn that candle at both ends. That's what it really boils down to. And I don't see, for me, there's no huge benefit for stream. I don't do portable gaming. I'm just not that guy, right? But I'm very positive that there's other people that should be, this is going to benefit them.
Yeah. And
it's going to benefit me in a roundabout way, right? Like, I'll still buy my hardware, I'll still play on PC, I'll still play on console.
And then you'll have an option if the wind strikes you at some point in time.
Well,
you know
let's say a game sells, instead of 5 million, it sells 8 million. That because of this new revenue stream of additional gamers, right?
Yeah.
So what does that do for me? That guarantees a sequel to a game I really like.
And then money goes back into more game development. You get your sequels, but not only that, you'll have more projects start up, which means more games. And that's one thing I said about Game Pass, with having that steady stream of revenue with Game Pass as well, because there was people out there when Game Pass first came out, and as it was getting developed, as better games got in there, there's people didn't like that whole thing, and I'm like, well, why not? It's $10. Well, I don't own my games. I'm like, well, obviously it's not for you then. But with me paying,
it's totally fine. It doesn't threaten them.
But with me paying my $10 per month, I'm helping add to a revenue stream that's going to create more games for both of us down the road.
Well, that's the thing, is how can you not be grateful for the person that's willing to spend that income every month for you as a gamer that maybe decides to purchase your games?
Yeah.
How can you get mad at somebody that purchases a game at launch, spends $60 to help subsidize the price drop of your game? How can you be upset at a PC gamer that buys the most expensive, the true ones that buy the most expensive hardware, that subsidize your lower cost PC down the road or your console?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they all need each other. And the new segment in all this is the cloud-based stuff being computed remotely. And guess what? Those really expensive servers that they have to do, they rely on all the electronics that are out there to be able to bring that stuff at a reasonable cost. But they're also really expensive. Guess what? They help subsidize our next console.
I don't understand by what you mean by at a reasonable cost. Now, I can see console and the server farms needing each other in the terms of when you look at the blades within the servers, how it's got the Xbox technology in it, and you want to push forward in that space.
If you look at AMD's chiplet design, it's actually literally more chiplets in the server-based CPU. That what guarantees that they can continue to make chipsets. Guess what? Sometimes the server farms, they can't sell as many of those at one given point in time. So they have to rely heavily on, for example, like AMD wouldn't have survived if it just relied on PC. They needed that revenue stream from console.
Yeah.
Same thing with this. So they want to continue to grow. They want to own all three segments, and they want all segments to continue to grow. And honestly, the whole business model depends on that. I think Microsoft understands that. That's why they say it's a complementary thing. They're like, whoa, we can help them. We can grow in every single area, and so can them. And then I don't think they ever look at it as a replacement because they know it's a different thing. I mean, he had to take a step back and, hey, let's rewind the clock back. It's complementary. And that's what it comes right down to. And maybe people don't believe it. I get it. But like, you just got to give it time, and it all makes sense. I don't think anyone should ever be worried about it.
What I was saying about moving into the future, and anybody can chime in on this as well, but like what I was saying about moving into the future is like, when I talk about their end game, I feel like down the line they would love to have, PlayStation would love to have a streaming service, Xbox would love it to just be streaming service. I still feel that way. All right,
it's still more expensive.
But check this out. When every option, because I feel like we're moving into that hardware that's going to have the most options to it. When you have all those options, as long as all those options are staying active and are making revenue, they will keep all those options open. But kind of like if you're a botanist and you see a tree branch dying on this tree that you've been growing ever since it was little or something like that, you would cut that dying tree branch off and let everything else thrive. You see what I'm saying? So like I feel like as long as console stays active, as long as streaming stays active, as long as PC gaming stays active, and they keep collecting revenue from these things, I think that they'll support them all. Is what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I don't look at Surface, right? They don't have to do Surface. There's no reason for Microsoft to have to do Surface. They continue to do Surface, and actually it's doing really well. And why do they continue to invest there? Because it literally is like what they call it a Halo product, right? So it's a product that is the benchmark of what PC can be. In regards to that, and under the Microsoft brand, that's what it's designed to do. They can totally rely on Dell, HP, all those brands, and they'll still do fine. They'll probably make more money, to be honest with you. But what it does is it generates all that interest in it, and that's how these other companies also can flourish as well. I mean, that's just kind of how all this stuff works. I just don't see it ever going away. And there's always energy. There's just too much science and physics behind how everything works. You just can't remove it. So
it's one of the things for me is that when you look at how everybody was against digital. Well, not everybody, but there was a lot of people that was
dude, man, that got me so mad.
It did. Like it was like, and there was a lot of PC YouTubers, which was really tripping me out because most of their games is all digital. But regardless, this is the thing here. The benefit of digital has given us a lot of game sales that we've never seen before. Yeah. And this in ever. I haven't never seen so many sales. If you notice, when we first got our Xbox One and PlayStation 4, we would get an occasional deals, this and that every once in a while. Then all of a sudden it just started getting more rampant. Then now we're looking and we see like we get sales like big sales, like what, 4 or 5 times a year now?
Yes, sir.
On top of what we get if we
used
are,
to never get anything like that. One of my biggest complaints with digital games was they were $60 all the way through, man. Like
yeah. And now all you have to do, if you're one of those guys that are one of those bargain gamers, all you got to wait is a couple of months and those games will have a sale. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And then especially at the games that comes at the end of the year, by the time that you get to the beginning of that next year, maybe around January or February, March, it's going to be another sale to where those games are going to be discounted heavily. And we have never seen that before, and that's all because of digital sales, and plus the fact that we're signed up to these memberships as well.
Well, and the digital thing on that is it's just not people turning in stuff anymore, right? So you're no longer turning out the developer. So now the developer can hit these different tiers and that sort of thing, and they can lower the price of the game and continue to make revenue. And
great point.
And the gamer does not have to feel bad when they bought it on sale. Guess what? Because all those dollars get divvied out to the people that deserve it, earn it. Yeah. So the platform provider, the marketing team, and the developer and the publisher. So I mean, like, that is the benefit in regards to all that, and that's a free market thing, right? As well. So now you create the free market. The people that actually create the content are actually getting the dollars, and you cut out the people that are not creating the stuff out there, and then they're not investing in the best interest of both the hand that feeds them. Because here's the thing, like, I don't feel bad for GameStop. They've been buying the hand that feeds them for years, right? So I mean, in business, you just don't do that for a long period of time and not have to pay the price, and they're paying the price now. I mean, it's just what it boils down to.
Nice guys. I just looked at the time. We are after 9 o'clock. I don't know about you guys, but I want to get into some gaming tonight. It is Saturday night. Great discussion. Yo, Don, that was an awesome point with the money going back to the developers. Therefore, they are hitting kind of like their tiers that they wanted to hit. So, kind of giving back to the gamers with, like, sales for the game digitally and stuff like that. Freaking love it. Absolutely love it. But I don't know. Gamers got a game. We got to get the controllers in our hands. So I think it's about time for the outros. I'm going to start with our brother Predator, who's been really quiet like the last 15 minutes or so. Pred, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, brother. Why don't you?
He knew that the Alpha Dogs was here.
Oh no! Oh no! Well, Pred knows when Don comes in, you just cut him off. It's okay.
No, he just got really quiet because Kingmaker brought up R. Kelly. That's what's going on.
Now he's gonna be bumping some R. Kelly tonight. Your body's calling for me. I can hear you calling, babe. Okay, go ahead.
Oh wow! Yo, somebody timestamp that. That was K Mega singing right there. But yo, Pred, why don't you let people know where they can get a hold of you, talk about games, possibly squad up with you in Division 2, man.
Predator_H2S on Xbox Live, PlayStation, and Steam.
MySpace.
That's it, man. MySpace, yeah, right. Other than that, man, you catch me in Division for probably the next couple of weeks, and I'm almost at level 30, man. I'm about to hit 21 tonight, and maybe get to 22. And I'll call it a night. But hit me up on Xbox Live. Definitely be gaming tonight and later this week. So that's where I'll be.
Nice, brother. Nice. Yo, K Mega, as you can hear, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I'm typing the poll right now. Mega, you came in kind of like halfway through. I hope you like. I smoothed out the look of next podcast. You know me. I'm never satisfied. I'm always tinkering with this. I hope you like it. I hope you saw the winning gameplay kind of like background, because I went all out on that.
Yeah, I saw that. All
right, brother.
Nice. Look clean.
Yeah. So hopefully you want your gameplay in there, but I think I'm gonna win. But why don't you let people know where they can get a hold of you to talk games and where they can squad up with you, brother?
Man, you can catch me on my channel at KMega405. Also, we had a fun GRG last night. The Dev and the Gamer, come check that out. We were me and Don laid it down this week, and man, had some really great discussions as always. And then catch me on Twitter at KMega4. I dusted off the PlayStation, and I played me some Tekken and went 15-4. I can't wait when crossplay actually happens, because I get tired of these PlayStation dudes talking trash. I even showed some gameplay of me thrashing, and I got a trophy, said a complete annihilation. It was hilarious, so I had to definitely show that. But yeah, man, as always, man, catch me every Saturday with my brothers out here, man, and my sister. Snap suckers, and just like always, man. See y'all again. God bless.
Nice. And you went the perfect speed, because I just got the poll up there on Twitter. Yo, Don, you came in at the end. I guess somebody put out the Don signal and said you have to come in here and kind of rally these guys together. I don't know if we're going a little crazy or whatnot, but
I don't know what's going on. Like, I usually catch everything afterwards, or hop in, just say hi, and bounce out and won't listen to it when I'm doing the work. But Yeah, the best thing to do is just follow me on Twitter, the Don_KTR. I am dropping a new video this week, and I'm just going to leave it a surprise, and you guys are going to have to check it out for yourselves and see what I'm talking about. So,
is it a milk carton codpiece?
No. Sorry to disappoint you there, Bob.
Damn
but
it.
no, it's not that. But I think what you're trying to refer to is also being released possibly this week, but I don't want to make that promise right now. So
Okay, so possibly, but
possibly two
no
things,
promises.
but definitely one thing.
Okay, all right, brother. Well, it's good for you to come in, man. You came in, you dropped down some really good points. I always love talking games with you, bro, and the door's open anytime, so feel free to join us when whatever Saturday you want to, man.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. But like I said before, the gamers got a game. We got to get the controllers in our hands. It is Saturday night. Huge shout out to everybody who hung out with us tonight live. I hope you were as entertained listening to the show as we were, producing it for you. A lot of thoughts, a lot of opinions, as usual. Another next podcast in the book, and I'm going to end it the way I do every Saturday. We will check you out next Saturday for the next podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Penis Damon.